If you thought the James Webb Space Telescope rewrote what humanity could see, what you are about to confront will collapse that feeling entirely. Not improve on it. Collapse it. Because Webb stares at single points in the cosmos with extraordinary patience, and what just opened its eye on a mountaintop in Chile does something Webb was never designed to do, something no machine in history has ever done at this scale, and the first image it sent back already contains a secret that most people miss completely. The Vera Rubin Observatory became operational in early 2025, perched 2,682 meters above sea level on Cerro Passion in Chile. Its camera, the Legacy Survey of Space and Time Camera, or LSST, is a 3,200 megapixel instrument weighing approximately 3,000 kilograms, roughly the mass of a small car. To display a single full-resolution frame, you would need over 400 ultra-high-definition television screens arranged in a grid. That is not a telescope. That is a planetary-scale eye. Think about that for a moment. A single exposure from this machine contains more visual information than most observatories collect in months. Its first true image assembled across just 7 nights and 1,185 individual exposures. What came back was not a deep field in the traditional sense. It was a cross-section of the universe, a layered view containing nearly 10 million galaxies in one frame. Some are spirals blazing with blue-white star formation happening right now. Some are ancient ellipticals, amber and silent, glowing with the light of stars that formed before Earth existed. Some are distorted wreckage caught mid-merger, their original shapes torn into tails and bridges by tidal forces too large to comprehend. And in the foreground, slicing across all of it, stars from our own Milky Way, their optical spikes a reminder that we are inside the picture, not outside it looking in. The terrifying part is not the scale. It is how ordinary Rubin made it look. This is only the opening frame of a 10-year mission. The vast majority of what this observatory will find has not been analyzed yet. Not catalogued. Not even seen. One region that stopped astronomers cold was a field centered on the southern edge of the Virgo cluster, the nearest major gathering of galaxies to our own, sitting approximately 55 million light-years away. In a single mosaic, Rubin captured Messier 49, a giant elliptical galaxy softly glowing with billions of ancient stars, side by side with NGC 4535, a face-on spiral actively manufacturing new suns in bright blue arms. Behind them, the field falls away into dwarf galaxies, faint red smudges, and background objects more than a billion light-years distant, objects so remote that the light reaching Rubin left before complex animal life existed on Earth. And then, halfway through the field, a triple galaxy merger. 3 separate galactic structures caught in the slow act of gravitational destruction. Their disks are shredding. Their stars are being flung outward. The bridges between them are not metaphors. They are rivers of matter being exchanged between dying structures at velocities humans have no sensory framework to grasp. This is not a peaceful universe. Rubin made that precise. But here is where the discovery pivots into something that unsettled even the researchers processing the data. While the observatory was staring into the deep universe, our own solar system kept interrupting. Embedded in the galactic field were asteroid trails, thin, colored streaks left by small rocky bodies passing through the frame during the long exposures. The software identified them, removed them from the final stacked image, and quietly flagged them for discovery cataloging. In 10 hours of observing, Rubin detected nearly 2,100 new asteroids. Let that land. All ground-based and space-based telescopes combined typically discover approximately 20,000 asteroids per year. Rubin found 1/10 of that in a single night. Astronomers currently track roughly 1 million solar system objects. Rubin is projected to push that number past 5 million within a few years, including a significant portion of near-Earth objects that no one has found yet, moving silently through orbits that occasionally intersect with ours. We called this telescope a machine for watching the distant universe. We were not wrong. But we were incomplete. And this is only what the first nights revealed. Rubin's full cadence has barely begun. To understand why this observatory fractures the existing model of how astronomy works, you have to understand what Hubble and Webb were designed for. Both instruments are built for targeted depth. You point them at a specific region, you wait, you collect faint light, and you extract extraordinary detail from a precise location. That method has produced some of the most important science in history. But it is fundamentally a snapshot approach. One place. One time. Rubin was built for something architecturally different. It scans the entire visible sky every 3 to 4 nights. After each pass, its software subtracts the new image from a stored template, pixel by pixel, and isolates only what changed. A star that brightened overnight. A supernova that appeared where nothing existed before. A black hole that suddenly flared in a galaxy 400 million light-years away. A new transient event with no known classification. This method, difference imaging, will generate alerts for approximately 10 million changing objects every single night. Not every year. Every night. The observatory will produce roughly 20 terabytes of raw data per night, accumulating into tens of petabytes across the decade-long survey. Rubin is not simply a telescope. It is a surveillance system for the cosmos. A dashcam running continuously against the entire visible sky. And now we arrive at the moment where something that looks beautiful reveals itself as deeply unsettling. In one of its early fields, Rubin trained its camera on the Lagoon Nebula and the Trifid Nebula, two of the most famous stellar nurseries in the Milky Way, located approximately 4,000 light-years from Earth. The Lagoon Nebula blazes in brilliant ionized pink, a churning region of gas and dust where gravity is currently winning against the thermal pressure trying to hold the cloud apart. New stars are igniting inside it right now, and those stars are already bombarding the cloud that made them with ultraviolet radiation, carving cavities, sculpting pillars, and seeding the next generation of collapse. The Trifid sits above it. Emission, reflection, and dark dust lanes laid over each other in one extraordinary compound structure. In older telescopes, these nebulae look stunning. Fixed. Complete. Finished. But Rubin is going to return to them. Again and again, over 10 years. And over time, the image will change. Variable stars will pulse on their cycles. The illumination structure of the gas will shift as the embedded young stars evolve. Regions of dark dust will thin as radiation pressure works through them. What looked like a portrait will reveal itself as a time-lapse of creation. And creation, it turns out, is not gentle. It is pressure, radiation, collapse, and shock. The beauty was always a battlefield. Rubin is going to prove it. That is the pivot that forces us to confront something most people feel but cannot articulate when they look at these images. The universe is not a gallery. It does not hold still for us. Every stunning image humanity has collected across the history of astronomy has been a frozen moment from a process that never loosens its grip, a process of collision, formation, explosion, and transformation that operates on timescales our intuition was never built to navigate. Rubin changes the relationship. For the first time, we will not just glimpse the process. We will watch it. Systematically. At full sky scale. For 10 consecutive years. The first images from the Vera Rubin Observatory stopped the world for a day because they were overwhelming in the most immediate sense. The galaxies, the mergers, the nebulae, the sheer count of objects in a single frame. But the reason they should stop you now, sitting with them, is more precise than beauty. Those images were proof of function. A confirmation that the machine is operational and the era has begun. Every night from here forward, Rubin is adding to a record that will eventually contain more information about the changing sky than every observatory in human history combined. We have spent centuries building a still photograph of the cosmos. We called it knowledge and we were proud of it. What Rubin is building is something that will make that archive look like a single frame pulled from a film that has been running for 13.8 billion years. The camera just opened its eye. The universe has been moving the whole time. And for the first time, we have a machine designed not to catch it in a moment, but to watch it, without blinking, for a decade. Whatever is out there that changes, that moves, that appears without warning, Rubin will find it. And what it finds may not be what we were hoping for. If this changes how you see what's above you tonight, stay with us, because the Vera Rubin Observatory has only just pressed record.